Raza. Yeah. I just want to say hi because I got to go. See you later, Walter. Thanks for saying hi, broski. I appreciate that. I appreciate that big time. I'm just doing a little work over here. Heard. See you then. Okay. Hello. Hello, Mansell. Hello, Bridge. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Yasat. Hello, Soph Gordon. Hello, Sebax. Ardo. Hello, Zev. What's up, Mansol? Yo, I used your tips and I signed you too. Imran, dude. I'm so happy to hear that. What school? Should I make a soccer post on my Insta? Absolutely. Hello, goat. But if you make a post, remember, nobody's going to see it just because you posted. You have to email the post or you need to tag schools. But you should totally post. McFadden, what's up? Plus, you should post because in the future, it will help as well. So definitely post, broski. Definitely post. Definitely post. Uh-huh. Okay. Hello, everyone. I got a chance to go to Spain to play in Canary. That will not help you play college soccer, but very cool. That's my club. You know United Elite, Corange FC. I don't know them, actually. But I can look them up real quick. And they do have potential. What level do they compete at? I got a good bag. Southern Nazarene University, Imran. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to make a note of you. That's freaking awesome, dude. Did you get any scholarship? That's freaking awesome, dude. Congratulations. I'm making a note of you. Southern Nazarene University. Okay, awesome, dude. I made a note of you. Congratulations. You're going to make it on my website. That's my club. What's up? I got a chance to go to Canary, Spain, junior. What are the things that scouts and coaches look for in a winger / wingback? Well, as a winger, crosses and your ability to dribble at players. As a wingback, your 1v1 defending, as well as your ability to keep the ball under pressure when everybody presses you. And so playing a ball from the right back into the striker. That's what they would want. What up, Ticker Talk? Let's see. TikTok, you guys are winning. You have more people here, so you get the attention. My dad signed me up for it. Thoughts on NCSA? Really bad. I'm sorry. Do not do NCSA. Do not depend on it, Ike. I'm really sorry. Did you pay the full version? Look, if you go to YouTube, and you look up College Soccer at USA, NCSA, you'll see why it's not good. I'm sorry. So be careful is all I can say. You paid for the full version. I'm sorry, man. It is not going to work in my opinion. Look, what I'll do, I kind of want to do it anyway, so let me see. I'm going to try and put this in my account. I'm gonna put in the link in my bio a video. Actually, I can't. I'm sorry, man, I can't. But anyways, I have a YouTube video that talks about why NCSA is really bad, and it's not good. Really not good. So I'm sorry. All I can tell you now is you have it, so go ahead and use them as best you can, but do not send any emails from NCSA. Do them from your own email account. Trust me. If you want to go to a small Christian school, then NCSA is good. But if you want to go to like a D2 or D3 or D1, then it's not good. What are your thoughts on Rhode Island men's soccer and their play style? Very good. They're very good. Do you know any college soccer in Texas? Absolutely, Alexis. What kind of school are you looking for? There's a ton. SMU. There's so many schools. St. Mary's. What level are you? What's your GPA? I would need to know more about you. I used to play Division III NCSL and found an EDB team that's going to Israel next year. That's awesome. I used to play Division III NCSL and found an EDB team that's going to Israel. That's great, Simon. That's great. Okay, everybody. I'm about to jump on a call with a potential student. If you guys would like to be on a call like this, all you have to do is click the link in the bio.
Recording in progress.
And you can jump on a call with me one day, if you want to. Does UC Merced have a good program? They do. Merced's a good program. Yes, I did put together pretty good. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to see your face. I really appreciate your time.
Of course.
I think maybe is your athlete behind you or joining us separately?
He is. He's behind me. I'm here with my husband. He's driving. We're actually going to a soccer tournament. So
Bonus points. Those are the families I like. Well, it's so nice to see everybody and speak to everybody. Before we get started, could I ask who found me first?
me.
Amazing. And if you don't mind, could you ask, and he can say it if you'd like to, or he can say it to you and you can say it to me. I want to ask your son, what did your mom tell you about me?
Well, he is. I don't know if we should wake him up. He's passed out on the back seat. So.
Let him sleep. No problem. Let him sleep. Let me ask your husband then. Maybe I start there. What did your wife tell you about me?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, just that you should sit down and listen. Sounds good. Okay, awesome.
I'm honest, man. I'm very honest.
I appreciate that. No, honesty is good. Now, there was a video I sent that I typically ask the son or the athlete and at least one of the parents to see that kind of talks about what I do and my price and how we work with kids your son's age. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's okay. I can show that to you guys as you're driving here, but as long as you're not in danger, I can share my screen with a couple things. Now, with that in mind, I want to start, by kind of going over the agenda for today. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. The first piece of this is to figure out if we're the right fit. And for me to do that, I need to ask you guys some questions and I need to learn some things about your son. And then also I want you to interview me and figure out if I'm the right fit. As your husband mentioned, you don't know anything about me and it's important that you get to know me. And then the other piece of it is I want to see if I can maybe scare you guys and therefore scare your son away and make you guys quit so you don't have to do any more of this driving and you can just relax and you can just, not have to worry about all this. And then the final thing is that by the end of this call, I would like to know if you want to work with me. Now, I know your husband already mentioned you know nothing about me, and it would be hard to make that kind of decision, which is very reasonable. The only reason I ask for that headspace is so you guys ask me whatever questions you have, likewise for me, so we can, learn as much about each other as we can. Does that sound like a deal?
That sounds like a deal.
Thanks,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, of
Your
course.
name, remind me of your name.
Zev.
I'm Zev.
Seb. That's
Zev.
short for?
What is it short for?
Good question. It's actually not short for anything. My parents could only afford 3 letters, so that's all I got.
Okay. Zev.
Zev is it's an Israeli name.
Israeli. Okay.
Okay, great.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Bulgaria, and my husband is
From
from.
Honduras with a little bit of Sephardi roots.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, excellent. That's a good soccer player you must have there. Oh my goodness, quite the combo. That's some good genes. And actually, I get to look at that. I got to take a look at what you submitted, so we'll talk about that. So with that in mind, let me just start off with, what prompted you guys to I'm going to ask your wife since she found me. What prompted you to reach out? What is it that you'd like help with?
As you saw on the call, our son is sophomore in high school. He's competing at a pretty high level soccer for the U.S. He's on an MLS team in Alexandria, Virginia. And he's also doing pretty well academically. He is attending Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, which is like, I think, a top 10 high school in the nation. He has a pretty solid background for moving, to a good college, but he does want to continue his soccer career in college. Obviously that balance between good academics and instead of just going the academics route, we want to be able to balance this out with maybe some soccer opportunities, just so that he can continue his interest, developing his interest in soccer. He's definitely a very bright child. We don't mind him continuing just academically, but he has a passion for soccer, and we want to help him out as much as possible. We don't know much about how soccer recruiting works in the college world. And given that, he'll be finishing his sophomore year, we probably decided felt that, it might be a good time to start looking into.
Yeah.
And I saw your Instagram, so you have, some good testimonials there, and, you've helped some athletes get Division I recruitment. So, seems like you have the expertise.
Thank you. Thank you. That's definitely something I'm looking at helping your son with. I like that both of you kind of brought up academics. Did either of you guys play soccer or any sport in college, or did you guys go to college here in the States?
LSU.
We went to LSU, but we played. I played tennis for a community college, and then my husband, he played in Honduras basketball.
Awesome.
For the youth team there.
Oh, great. So you guys, obviously, I would think better than most parents I get to talk to, see that, him playing soccer in college not only would be fun, but maybe good for him to, for his life.
Oh, no, we're all in, yeah.
You're all in. Awesome. Now, if I said to you, how many phone calls has he had with Division III schools so far? How many has he had?
Oh, 0. We haven't had any.
Okay.
calls.
Has anybody mentioned coming on a visit this spring or fall?
No.
Okay.
Well, what we were told is that nobody can reach out to him until after June.
I do know you guys are all told that. That is not true. And it's a rule that it's been unfortunately promoted very often. The Division I and Division II schools are not supposed to reach out to you, but Division III schools can talk to you any way they like. And if you want to play Division I, like the students' testimonials you may have seen, all of them who committed to Division I at the top academic schools, all of them had interest from Division III schools before June 15th. And to your point, I know where you guys live. I lived in Richmond, Virginia, and played for the Kickers. And I played there for 3 years at the pro level. And I know your club. And the reason I was asking is I got to see the one clip you showed me on his Instagram. But I know that your son's good. So that's why I was curious where you guys stand so far. Now, having said that, if I asked you guys...
No, we're starting at 0.
Starting at 0. Okay, super helpful. Now, if I asked you guys, and you kind of already touched on this, but I'll ask Mom and then Dad, I'd love for you to chime in too. Why do you want to help him? Well, let me back up first, actually. Would you guys agree with me that academics come first as we do this recruiting process?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, he has a strong academics background. So, we're looking at top schools, I guess, top colleges.
Yes, well said. Top academic schools. And would you guys... go ahead, please.
If you live in Richmond, probably you'll be familiar with Thomas Jefferson, TJ.
Of course.
School of Science and Technology, that's where he attends.
Yes, I know Thomas Jefferson. I know his coach, actually. There's a facility in Richmond where everybody kind of goes when it's cold. And I would go coach there, obviously, for periods of time. And then I coached at the University of Richmond when I was there and playing pro soccer. With that's super helpful. And I know where you guys, like the fields you visit. We'd all agreed that academics come first. Would you guys also agree that those are probably the most competitive schools, that every kid with great grades want to go to those exact same schools?
Yes. Yes.
Now, having said that, we could just lock him in a closet and force him to do school only. Why do you want to help him play college soccer?
That's his passion.
I can tell. And then you guys obviously
He's not
both
interested in academics.
Yes, at his age, I do know that feeling. I think you guys maybe saw it on video, but since your husband knows less about me, I played college soccer at the Division I level. I was playing JV soccer in high school as a junior with no prospects. I'm 5'6". I was never the biggest. Like your son, though, I was pretty technical, but nobody really believed in me. And I went to 30 ID camps and the hundreds of emails, which was not the right way to go about it. But my parents and I didn't know what we were doing because they're not from here. And along that process, I eventually got a full ride to play Division I at a top engineering school. And then I went pro, and then I started helping kids like you guys and posting videos about it. So with that in mind, what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you guys, is kind of give you my quote-unquote diagnosis on your current situation. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
So here's, when I look to work with students selfishly, I look at two things. One, are they a good soccer player? Like to your husband's point, honesty, like, do I think he's capable of playing college soccer? Because if they're not, then I can't really help them. The second thing is your commitment level. I mean, I know you guys are committed. He's got keeping his grades up. You're driving to soccer right now. So I know that I think that he's willing to put in the effort. What I will tell you is right now, with what you showed me and what you told me today, you are not on track to play Division I top academic. Not to say he's not capable. So those are two different things. I think he may be capable level-wise, but say the video you sent me, for example, is one turn. It's not even his own Instagram. It's on someone else's page. That cannot get us recruited. And you must have video to play college soccer.
Yeah, we will.
So to
We're
that
aware of
end,
it.
awesome. And to that end, what I would say, it's not just about having one video. It's about having many videos that you follow up with, that you edit together. So right now, I would say to you, he seems like he's a very good soccer player who's very committed. But to give you an idea, we already have 3 kids who are juniors, right, a year above him, quote unquote. They're committed. At this time, they're already done. One of them was already done in June of last year. So the point is to say, if you had said, look, we just want him to go to a small D3 school, say like Randolph-Macon, then you'd be fine. But that's not what we're aiming for. We want to go to a higher Washington Lee-esque or Division I-esque school. So for those, that's where my concern lies. Now, having said that, I know your husband's driving and you hadn't seen this video yet. So what I'd like to do is show you what I would do to fix that. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, but this is recorded, so your husband, you can watch it later if you'd like. But the first thing is we got to fix his video. He doesn't have one, for one, but he needs an Instagram page. He needs a YouTube page, so we have to fix his video. The next thing is I have this email system, which was kind of sent in the video before, but I just want to show it to you, where I'm able to select all the top academic schools based off of a profile. Like this is my personal profile. You'll have your own profile that we get to learn about your son, where he may want to live, the regions, etc. And I will help him pick a list of schools. You will also give me your top list. We may even speak to his academic advisor and say, what kind of schools would he like to go to? And then with our email system, I can go dear #coach, #genuine, #school name. And by doing this, I can automatically send the coach's name, something genuine, to every school in the country within 10 seconds from your own Gmail account. And the reason that's very powerful is there are other companies who have a similar technology, but it's not from your own Gmail. Being from your own Gmail is kind of the secret to why I spent my life savings making this system. Having said that, every time you receive an email, the system will also tell us whether it was a genuine email or a robot email, because you're going to get a little bit of both. And then every time we get invited to a camp, the system will save the camp, and you and I as a family will talk about which camps we should and should not go to. This little robot has every single camp in the country. Now, I'm going to give you, which ones to go to. But this robot has anything you can think of college soccer-wise. It has the answer. It's literally my clone. I trained it like ChatGPT, but for college soccer, basically. And this allows us to stay very organized as we go through the process. So the first thing is video. The second thing is the email system. He is going to need to go to camps. Now, when I say camps, there's a ton of camps. I will tell you off the bat that he has about 6 to 7 months to go to 2 camps that he must go to as a top academic. Once you hit junior year, those camps are kind of useless and they're just what I would call a money grab. But when you're a sophomore and you're good, they're really helpful to us. But once he's a junior, then they're not as helpful. So that's if he wants to do top academic, which is kind of what we're looking at. And my niche, just so to give you guys an idea, because on my videos I talk about academics a lot, my niche are top academic Division 3 or top academic Division 1. Most of our kids go to those two places. We don't really have as many kids going to Division 2 or say a lower tier school. It's academics, it tends to be my niche. So with that in mind, an audit is usually something I do when you guys have done something, but you guys are literally at 0. Now the good news of being at 0 is I get to work with you as a blank slate. It's not like you've already sent a bunch of emails wrong or your video you sent out wasn't good. We have to resend it again. You're really starting from 0, which from my personal perspective is helpful. Now I want to create a list of schools for you in addition to your own list. For example, I had mentioned that the Division 3 schools need to be all over your son. I want them to be asking about his grades, his transcripts, and these are the top academic D3 lists as of the last 10 years. And he's going to get his own list that he wants. Well, these are NESCAC schools.
Question for you. So
Yeah.
it's D1, then why do you skip D2? Is D2
Really good question. So it depends on what your son wants to major in, but unless he wants to major in engineering, Division 2 schools academics are not as good as Division 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's part of my job for sure to let you guys know. There are exceptions. And if as a family you say, you know what, we're willing to be open-minded to that. But I will tell you off the bat, like right this moment, based on where he is in the process, if you want to play at Duke, let's say, or a top academic, and you say, I have interest from a D2 school, that will mean less to them than if you have interest from University of Chicago. That means more to them because they know you have the grades, and University of Chicago is a D1 program. They're just, they just are called Division 3. But the level is, all those players could have played Division 1. They're very good. So with that in mind, we talk about, the list and the camps, but if your son was awake, I would ask him, can you please ask me, Zev, or I'll do it with you. I want to pronounce her first name correctly. Mom, how do I pronounce her first name? Milena?
Milena.
Thank you. Miss Milena, will you say to me, Zev, why do you think it's important that we start in 10th grade?
Zeb, why is it important to start in 10th grade?
Good question. So the main reason is if you'd like scholarship and you want to go to a top academic, your son will be done recruiting in August of his junior year. That's when 90% of top academics are done. But the main reason is eventually your son is going to get an offer and you're going to have 2 weeks to decide. Otherwise, they're going to take the offer away from you. And I don't want your son to have to be rushed into a decision. So the reason I want kids to start as early as they'll let me is because it takes time to find a coach you love. And unless I make you quit today, which I mentioned I'm trying to do, your son, even if we choose academics first, if he goes to his favorite school, we'll just say Duke, but the coach is a prick and he doesn't play for 4 years, I think he'll be pretty miserable. So we need to find a coach that he loves. Would you guys agree that, the coach is really important?
Of course. Not the team.
Yeah. And you guys get that more than most because you played at a high level of tennis and your husband played a high level of basketball. So I want to pause there and ask you guys, do you think if your son heard this, he would be scared and want to quit trying to do this college soccer thing?
I don't think so.
Not at all, man.
I don't think this is scary.
Okay, good answer. Now, have you guys heard about other companies like NCSA before or not yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought NCSA when I was doing the process. I would probably argue like 50% of the students that eventually come to me bought NCSA or heard of it because they're humongous. They're like Kaiser Permanente or a huge insurance company. I am, of course, a lot smaller than they are. But the biggest difference between us is the first thing is I want to edit all your son's videos, not just one. I want to give you an idea, he's going to need about 6 to 8 videos, not including social media, this year alone to get recruited. They'll edit 1 video for you if you purchase their highest level package. It is mandatory that your son and myself and my team, and you guys are a part of it, but I really need to speak to your son every single week, at least for an hour. Now, that can vary. If he has school, we always, of course, if he's got finals, we can skip a week or 2. But we need to communicate in some way. And for them, they'll just tell you, call us once a month. If you don't work with us every week, I fire you. In order for me to be successful, I need to talk to your son. And then the organic email platform allows me to be able to send emails from his own email account. And no one else has that system because they want the credit for your son. I'm in a fortunate position where I've placed many kids now at many schools. I don't need the credit. I just want your son to play college soccer at a school he likes. And if you guys feel I helped you, then you'll let me know later. And then finally, if in the next 3 months he is not being genuinely recruited by a Division 3 school, We could also say Division One because I do believe that at camps they're going to show interest in him, but I'm not allowed to because it's technically illegal. But I do expect in the next 3 months him to be getting interest from top academic Division Three schools. And if that's not happening, then you fire me and I refund you. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
So you're confident in his level then?
Yes. Now, one of the things.
Take that risk.
Yes, and that is exactly. And now that's because I looked up your club and I tried to find some more clips of him and I'm going, look, I think he's the level. Now, I will say one of the things that I want you to be wary of, even if you don't work with me, and I want you guys to feel, I want everyone to feel excited. But NCSA, the problem that you have to be careful of is any company who claims to have a platform. This is where they say to you, if you go on our platform, the coaches will come to you. It's a great concept, right? You don't have to do any work this way. But these are the schools that come and find you. Wittenberg, Wilmington, Milligan. I've never heard of these schools, and this is my full-time job. And for you guys, we're not going to the University of Gloucester with your son.
No.
So even if you don't work with me, you can never depend on a platform. You must go to them. You must email them. You must get their camps and everything else. So let me pause there for a second. And I want to ask you guys, when I describe that to you, I'll start with your wife, or I'll start with Mom. Milena, do you feel like that's the type of help you're looking for your son?
For NC the NCSA?
Sorry, not NCSA. The type of help meaning, unlimited video,
yes.
camps.
No, somebody who is more involved. I like the fact that you're working one-on-one. It's not just 1,000 people, and if somebody reaches out, we want a little bit more hands-on. Because if we're going to invest, we have a learning opportunity. We have 2 boys, actually. The other one is also sleeping. Mm-hmm. So it's a learning curve for both. So
how old is the...
He's
Sorry.
11,
he's 11.
Younger.
Okay. He's younger. And
so he has time for high school.
He does,
But,
yes.
it's a learning curve for us. So and he's also in the top team for ASA, Alexandria Soccer. So he's on the same route as his brother. But we definitely want hands-on experience. We have videos. We have material. We've never worked with my husband to compile it. We're a pretty busy business owners, so we don't have... Maybe we have the knowledge, we just don't have the time. Time is scarce.
Yes, well said.
So, someone who can dedicate time and help us, because we definitely believe our son has the skills and the academics behind, is just putting him available, putting him out there.
Okay, super helpful.
We are interested in, obviously, like you said, we are not interested in unknown university soccer program. We're aiming for, or we're hoping, hopefully he aims for the same, but, we want Ivy League, Stanford, Duke, also schools that, I'm not that's visible, but, he definitely has the background. He's already taken the PSATs. He's already in the upper 1400s, right? So
excellent.
That was in his, so he has the background on the academics. It's just now getting him visible for the soccer. Yes. And finding, like you said, the right coach with the right environment, because the environment is very, very important. And some schools are cutthroat, others are, more team effort. My nephew is actually getting recruited right now for American football, college football. So they've been going there. He's a year ahead of him. So they've been going through this recruiting process for a year now. So, now they're selecting based on the environment. And, some schools might be better, but now they're focusing on, okay, what's the best fit based on my character. So somebody who has experience like you probably already, and that's what you do 24/7. You already know much more than us. So.
Out of curiosity, thank you. I appreciate that, and this is my full-time job.
It's your job.
It's
not
yeah.
our job, exactly.
What you guys mentioned your business owners. What businesses do you guys do?
We are insurance brokers. Both of us, we have separate agencies. So
very cool. My grandpa, that's what he did. Excellent. Super helpful for me to understand. And also what you guys mentioned about what your wife has mentioned about the top academics is one of the things that is a reality, which we're going to explore together, is getting into those schools, just even if you have the perfect test scores, is really difficult because every kid applying have the perfect test scores. The difference could really be If the coach likes you, they will get you in. Basically, there was an HBO documentary done on this, that why would you not pick a kid who is proven to be a genius, say, in math over an athlete? And the reason is America loves sports. So they will pick the athlete over a kid who they may believe could be a Pulitzer Prize winner one day, because America just really likes sports. So with that in mind, I want to ask your wife for a second. Could you check your email for me? I sent over an email to you regarding some of the next steps, and also I haven't let you guys ask any questions yet. So with that in mind, let me just see if you got the email.
I got it.
Okay, cool. On the email, you're going to see,
So it's a,
you should see a link that says the agreement form. Let me know if you see that, and I can pull it up on my end too.
agreement for.
Okay, cool. And so this is why I just want to break this down, and this is recorded, and I'll make a little summary video for your son as well. I want you guys all to be on the same page and excited to work with us, and your son is sleeping, so I want you guys to be able to speak to him as well. But here's how it works on a day-to-day basis. Can I show you guys that real quick? Okay, so your son is going to work with me and a coach. He gets both of us. Now, your Zoom meetings are going to be with this coach. As it happens, this coach was just like you guys, called me in the car, wanted to go to a top academic school, and went on to a very high level top academic school, and now they work for me, and this is their full-time job. This is who your Zoom meetings are going to be with. Now, you're messaging me all the time, and I monitor everything, and I'm going to give you a list in a minute here of every kid we've ever committed, so you can see what type of top academic schools we tend to have our kids go to. But it's important to know your Zoom meetings will be with your coach, and you can message me as much as you want. Now, we also want to go through game video review. Your son is good, but there is room for him to improve, and I played pro soccer for a long time, and I'm about to go through his video, so I may as well give him some feedback on how to get better. You're going to get a Google Drive, and your Google Drive is going to look like this. This is another student of ours who's a sophomore, different age than you. And every time we work together, what you're going to see is we're going to have basically like a to-do list per se. So this is what his Google Drive will look like. We're going to have highlight videos, every touch videos that we need to make for them. And we have to make, quite a few videos, which we'll do. I know you guys already mentioned you have the video. You can just send it all to me. I will edit it. You don't have to clip it. I'll handle, like you mentioned already, you guys run your own business.
We have videos of the whole game. We have
Perfect.
video of the whole game.
That's perfect. You don't have to cut it. We'll cut it for you.
Yeah, we'll just give you his number.
That's perfect. That's literally perfect. So that's excellent. And if you guys have many games, we can edit. I want to edit many, but if you give me 100 and you say edit all of them, it takes me a long time. So it's easier for me if you say he played really well in this game, do this one first. Then I can go over the other ones later. But just so we can make video quickly, because he needs video really quickly. I need video with like a highlight, proper video within a week or so of working with me. Now, you're going to have a top list of schools that you guys want, and we're going to put that in your little Google Excel sheet here. Then you're going to have a top list of Division III, a top list of Division I, just like this student. And these are maybe your dream schools, Dukes of the world. I am also going to give you a list of schools that I believe we should consider. Now, one of the things in this process is we're going to email schools that you may never want to go to. And the reason for that is these coaches know each other really well. For example, St. Olaf is not a top academic, but they're the best Division III program in the country. If we email them and they go, we love your son, then we want to go to Chicago, we have leverage. And we're not going to spend any money at St. Olaf, but emailing them is helpful to us. Now, we're going to aim for the top academics because I think he's the level for that. And then what you're going to get is this Google document. And in this Google document is we're going to record every meeting. So if you guys can't make it, you can see a copy of it. And then a to-do list. You need to email these schools. Now, he pushes the button, but we tell him what to do. The only reason I can't push the button for you is it's from his own email account. He needs to be able to tell us if they responded. We want you guys involved. But I'm not an agent. I can never directly connect you to a school. It's illegal, and you guys probably heard about when all those coaches got in trouble for that. So we just have to be very careful, especially with these top academics. Now, as I mentioned, you're going to get the highlight video, the Google Drive, and the AI system. Now, to work with me, I'm an annual service. So I'm with you from now, February 14th, of his sophomore year to junior February 14th. Now, 95% of our students go on, get recruited, and no longer need my help. And you keep all of our tools for life, the Google Drive and the AI system. There's about 5% who say, Zev, we love working with you. We don't want to stop. Can we keep working with you? Or they'll say, we don't need to work with you now, but in a year from now, can we give you a call? And the answer is, of course, obviously, in which case it depends. It could be anywhere from $20 to $100 to have a phone call or edit a video. Just whatever you need will help you, but it's a custom plan after the year. Does that make sense?
The year passes. Okay.
Yeah. The goal, though, just to give you an idea, most of our students say, Zev, you sound like my mother. I don't need to hear from you anymore. I know what to do. And that is the goal. That's why we need to meet with you every week. Now, 98% of our students have received a minimum of 60, upwards of 300. Now, I know you guys mentioned scholarship. Now, I want you guys to go to a school you're happy about. But like this student, for example, went to a Division III school and got $300,000. So it depends. If we say we want to aim top academic, which I know we do, there could be more money, there could be less money, but because of our goals, we're like this student wanted money. So we aimed for schools who had money. Your case, we're looking for money, but also academics. And so far, that has been our results. Now, one thing I want to make very clear, I mentioned to you that in the first 3 months, if we're not being genuinely recruited, I refund you. What I mean is, no offers. I can't guarantee an offer. By genuinely recruited, what I'm saying is if in the next 3 months, a top academic Division III school, like a Carnegie Mellon, NYU, Tufts, those high-level schools, are not genuinely responding to us, then you can say, Zev, I thought you were good. You suck. You're fired. If, on the other hand, we're getting results from them, then it makes me believe that we will be successful in having your son go to a top academic school. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. The final piece is he must communicate with us at least once a week. If he gets sick or he's got finals, we always will say prioritize school. He's going to need to film a self-interview for us. We'll teach you how to do it. It's not difficult, but it does take time. And then I will need game video. You already mentioned this, but if for some reason you don't get me video within the 3 months of us, like 0 video, then you're fired and I can't help you, which is not going to happen. And then finally, if his grades drop below a 3.0 or any GPA you guys say, then he's also fired and we cannot help him. We need to keep the grades up so he can go to a school, and I'm not too worried about that either. Does that make sense to you guys?
He has a 4.0 right now. So
Yes, I saw that, which is excellent. So then what I'm going to have you do, Mom, if it's okay with you, I'm going to have you briefly fill this out just so I can take you to the payment page. I don't want you to pay, and you don't have to pay right this second, but I just want to show you what the payment structure looks like. I also want to briefly ask him, but I know he's sleeping, so I'll ask you guys, major-wise, do you have an idea of what he might like to study?
He's undecided at the moment.
Finance is a good inclination.
Yeah,
Okay.
business.
Okay,
Finance, economics.
Okay, let's start with business. I'll make a list of schools. Every year, every 3 to 4 months, I create a new list based off of internships that have been done, alumni that have been, graduated from a school. So if you'll click on business, I will start that list. You can also click undecided, but do business for now. And then I'll work on that. There's some really good division, like Babson is the best business school. That's a Division III
Which
school.
one?
It's called Babson.
And where is that at?
Babson is on the East Coast. This is like one of the best. It is the best business program according to News Today, but it's not Division I, it's Division III. But it's a school like you haven't heard of it. We'll put it on our list and we'll go on. And then when you get to this section, when you have to sign your son and your name or type your name out, you're going to click yes and you're going to click submit. When you do that, let me know. Again, it won't bill you anything or anything. It's just so I can show you what it looks like.
Oh, you want to do that now?
If you don't mind, just because I have to send you, it's going to send you a link, and I need just to make sure you have the link, so that way I can describe how we do the payment structure.
Okay.
But it won't bill you anything, and you're
Is
not
this on
signing
the
up for anything.
agreement form?
This is on the agreement form. Do you see it on there?
Okay.
You can take 2 seconds, and then actually you briefly fill out just your name and as I mentioned the grad year, which I have already. You're going right now to a soccer game. Is this a league game?
It's a futsal. Actually, it's a futsal tournament.
Okay, cool. And while your husband's driving, I'll ask him just a couple questions. Other than this futsal tournament, what is coming up on the horizon for your son?
Like spring season
Mm-hmm.
on the MLS Next side with lots of travel all the way to New York Red Bulls,
That's right.
Philadelphia Union, DC United. Many games have been already scheduled.
Yes, I
So
saw
we
the
have
schedule
a
come out
package
already.
for you.
Okay, cool. I saw that schedule actually come out. The footage against those specific teams, like if you want to ask me Duke, for example, Duke is looking at those types of teams, DC United, New York Red Bulls, and having footage against them is the best that you could ever ask for. So we will be making what are called every touch videos from those. So that's really helpful. The other thing I want to just ask both of you guys can answer this, but who's ever most comfortable. One of the things I would ask your son is I would say, why do you think you're the right fit to work with me? And I would ask him, in this process with me, we're going to get told no. We're going to get told we're great. We're going to get told we're not good enough. We're going to get told we're late. We're going to get told we're early. That's just how this works. So I was wondering if you guys could give me an example of where you can present to me how I know your son's not going to give up as we do this process.
Well, he was roster. He was actually, they call it a future player for the MLS Next when he was at an early age, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to make the team. So he kept fighting. He was training with the red team. And he was playing and practicing with the MLS Next team until he got, to be in the team itself. And then, of course, on the first year, he didn't have much playtime as other kids in the transition of growth. Size was a different beast, competing in other teams until, he was able to win more minutes and be a starting player as of last year. So, of course, not this encouragement just because of being on the bench, right? That's a true example of sport-wise on his perseverance on making it to the starting position.
Yes, that's a great example. And one of the things that, you guys, most parents I talk to, they never played sports, but so you guys will get it more than most, which is the hardest thing for us is getting injured or being told we can't play or being cut. And in my own case, it happened more times than I'd like to admit. And if a student can make it through those moments and keep their grades up along the way, then typically good things happen. Okay, that's super helpful. So from your wife's perspective, do you see a link? Do you see the link? Or if you click submit, you'll see a link. And
So question,
Please.
I'm not, where I want to make sure we're not
Paying.
now signing up for
You
the
are-
agreement, which just says.
Totally.
Do I have to click I understand?
Yes, this is saying is I went over it with you. It doesn't, you're not signing up with me.
Got it.
Nothing
I'm not
will be
signing
built.
up yet. Okay.
Yeah, all it says is I went
And
over the
then-
video with you.
You went over the video and then it talks about the rules.
Yeah, so you're not agreeing to anything. The only time you finally agree is when you submit payment, which I don't want you to do yet anyways. So,
We'll need to think about it.
yeah, please.
$5,000.
Of course. So this is why I wanted to bring that up. When you see that payment form, let me know if you see what it says. Do you see the link? I can pull it up on my screen too if you want.
Yes, I see the payment.
Okay, so the payment is, as we mentioned, it's $4,997. One of the things, the reason I want you guys to not work with me quite yet is your son is sleeping. So, I want you guys to go over it with him. Now, let's say I did say to you guys, you must work with me right this second. You have to, which is not the case. But if I did, what questions come to mind?
1 second. So how many kids do you get recruited per year?
Good question. So roughly speaking,
How
it's...
many do you work with at the moment as well?
Yeah, good question. So roughly speaking, it's about 30 kids per year that will commit, and we work with about 40 kids per year.
Okay. It's just 2 of you guys?
Good question. We have a total of 10 coaches, and so each coach works with 3 to 4 kids.
Okay.
Do you have any good references?
Absolutely. In the email that you guys received is the student that's at Duke, is the student that's at MIT, is the student that's at all the top academics. And in that Excel sheet, you'll see it in the email I sent you. You'll see a list of every single kid we've committed with all of their phone numbers. We don't, I'm pretty close with every family, so they all allow me to use their cell phones, and you can call their parents and speak to whoever you'd like. And so the answer is yes.
It's a good investment. Yeah. I mean, of course, if you get a scholarship, you pay off your fee within the first month. So,
Yeah. Our ROI of financially is, 10 times.
big.
But the big thing that I'll tell all of you that's important to me is what I can't measure is happiness. What if I get him a scholarship and he's miserable? My brother got a $70,000 scholarship to what we thought was his dream school, and he didn't play a minute for 4 years. That was not worth it. He would have been better off finding a different school. So my big thing is I want your son, I want your son to be happy and go to a school he loves. And my college coach, my full ride was worth $250,000, so the money was great. But also my
Where
coach.
did you go to college?
I went to Valparaiso. It's in northern Indiana. It's a Division I school. They no longer have a men's team anymore, unfortunately. But it's a top 5 engineering school. And my coach was an angel. He's coming to my wedding. He introduced me to the person I will probably meet, be with. Like, he changed my life forever.
That's good.
And that's what we want. That's,
All
that's
right.
the main goal.
So what are the next steps?
Good question. So
What are
here's the next
steps
step.
if we decide to move forward.
Yes, good question. So here, the next step is this. You guys have the payment link. The moment you fill that out and you say, hey, Zev, we'd like to rock and roll, I will follow up with an email with you and say, here are the steps to book our first meeting, to submit your videos to me so I can start getting started. I need an answer from you by this evening, latest tomorrow around this time. If in the next 24 hours you say, hey, Zev, we have another question, or could we have another day, that's fine. But if you ghost me in the next 24 hours, then I have to give the position to somebody else.
Okay. Well, we might need the weekend because we have a pretty hectic schedule.
You can follow that. You need a
You want-
response very quick.
24 hour.
24 hours. We don't
Why
work
so?
with that many students. So to give you an idea, today I have 12 calls. I cannot work with everybody, so I'm going to work with whoever wants to work with me the most.
I understand.
Yeah, this is my Friday. All these blue ones are all talking to me today. And I can't work with that many kids. So I want to, if you guys are not super excited to work with me, don't work with me. If you guys go, this sounds amazing, we can't wait to get started, then I'd love to work with you.
Okay.
Excellent, everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
So how do we reach to you? How do we reach
Yes,
out
good
to you?
question.
We need
So-
an extension.
Yes, well said.
Until
In the
Monday.
email I sent you, just send me an email back. You can do so tomorrow. I'm hearing it from you now, so that's helpful. But if you send me an email tomorrow and just say, hey, Zeb, we spoke about it with our son. We're ready to roll. Great. If you're not, then you can just tell me I need till Monday, and I'll save the spot.
Perfect.
Excellent, guys.
Okey-dokes.
It was
Thank
so
you.
nice speaking to you all, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Have a good game. Record if you can. Please record with your iPhone sideways.
Okay. Okay, I
Yeah.
will.
Record sideways. Futsal footage is very helpful. I don't
It is.
imagine they're gonna have a proper camera, so just use your iPhone because it's really close and film it sideways because I can reformat it later.
The whole
And if-
game or
No,
the whole
well,
game?
if your phone can take it, you can, but more likely that's realistic is when you think he's gonna get it, click record. And if it's too much, I can edit it. And if your younger son is also gonna be playing, which I think he is,
yeah.
we have a program that's for elementary to middle schoolers. Now that's different, and since we are working with, if we may work with your older son, what we would do is there's a discount if you want both of us full time. But what I would recommend is eventually, if we get started, just have your younger son. What's his name?
Georgi.
Georgi. If you have Georgi just sit in on the meetings with his older brother, and he says, "Wow, I want my own coach," then we can deal with that when it comes. But with him, what we do with kids his age, if he wants to go to a top academic, he needs to go to the middle school camps. If that's something you guys want him to do, that is its own thing. Like to give you an
So we have
idea,
a-
I only work with 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th graders. I don't work with kids older than that because I'm a top academic, and if I want to have the numbers I've shown you, I need to start earlier.
Got it. Oh, okay. I didn't know you started that early. Wow.
Only if they want top academic. If they don't want top academic, they don't have to. But if they want top academic, that is what it does take. Like to give you an idea, which you guys already know, if you want to get into Stanford and you don't have soccer, those kids are already doing internships in 7th, 8th grade at a science or
Wow.
a STEM research center. That's what it takes to go to those types of schools. Most of them have started a business or literally made money to get into those schools. So luckily we have soccer. Soccer could be our kind of ticket. But if your younger son, since you met me, I'm telling you that with the youngest son, it looks like one of them woke up. Which one is that one?
That's the younger one.
Hello, Georgie. Nice to meet you. That is to say that he should already, his video needs to be sorted. Like my problem with your older son right now, who's knocked out cold, is
Yeah, no.
that I'm going to have to spend the next 2 months just getting ready. We can't even do anything for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
Because of where you guys have started. I don't want to be there with your younger son. I want, when he talks to me in sophomore year, I want him to go, I've already had phone calls, I've already talked to schools. When I'm the sophomore, I'm only going to be emailing Division 1s because I've already got Division 3s.
Got it. Okay.
Awesome. Really nice talking to you
Based
guys.
on that, Sir, just a quick question.
Yes.
Question. My husband
Please,
has one question.
please.
Are we still on time for this process, or are we a little bit late already?
You are late on, if you want to go to a top academic, you are late. To give you an idea, if you want to go to Duke, you're really late, like very late. Those coaches already know their kids who they want. If you are open to going to, like I said, a Randolph-Macon, then you're fine. But if you want to go to a Duke, like the student we had go to Duke, he was committed in 6 months from now. Not even. June 20th. So February, March, April, May, June. 4.5 months he was done. And obviously at that point we had emailed Duke a dozen times over. We had been to their camp. They knew who he was. You know, your son is starting at 0.
See,
So, but is it possible, or what do you think?
Duke is a reach for you for sure. Duke would be a reach.
What about Stanford?
Stanford's not realistic.
No.
Not soccer-wise. Not yet. Now, you can catch up, which is kind of my job, the email system. But to give you an idea, Stanford is youth national team kids, pretty much across the board.
Got it. And like Yale or
Those are on
MIT.
MIT for sure. We have 2 students at MIT. For sure, MIT. They're going to have an invite-only camp that your son can get invited to for this in May,
Got it.
which
Okay,
that's
so some
important.
of the Ivy Leagues, some of the top schools with still
For sure.
are, you know.
Stanford,
Okay.
like when you say Stanford, Stanford's not only, like the Ivy League schools are very good at soccer, but they're not a top 10 program. Stanford is a top 5 program, and they're very good at academics. I'm not saying it's not possible. We have a student who got committed to Stanford. The biggest thing, though, was he was obviously playing at a high level, which you guys are doing. But, you know, if you're getting recruited to Stanford, there's so many good players. They want to know you as a person. They want to go, what are your parents like? You know, are they going to make sure that you go to class and show up, which is obvious, you'd think, but you know, they get to pick the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm. And you said they get to pick from the national team?
Yeah, so if you are playing pro soccer, but you've chosen not to get paid yet, and those kids their parents would say what you would say, don't go pro and make $70K a year, go to Stanford.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
so on that regard, and if we're running late, it is a stretch. Realistically, what are our options based on what we discussed right now? What type of schools are we looking at then that we are on time for?
Good question. So you're not too late for any school on paper yet. I would tell you any top, like a Stanford, I would say is a very big reach. I would say Duke is a very big reach. The Ivy League schools are still possible. This also very much depends on the process, and this is my job when we work together. In 3 months from now, ask me the same question, and I'll have a much better answer from you.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
Last question on my side, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
We do have tons of clips or actually game videos from VO, which is what we subscribe to. We haven't touched them at all. They just are in the cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we disseminate videos to you and we have a full match, we can also have some resources, which is the assistant coach from the MLS Next team that is willing to edit some of the videos of his playing time. Would that be better?
Good question. I would say once we work together, I really like to edit the videos because I put them in a certain order and I zoom in. However, if he's like, I'm happy to do it also, it would make my time a little faster potentially. So I would say this, once we work together, what we're going to ask you is if your coach is serious and goes, I can get it done in the next hour, then okay, that'd be great for me. I can get things done in 24 hours typically, or 48 hours depending. So I would say both of us are here to help you. I also want to add this, guys. I'm giving you a pretty harsh assessment. I've only seen one clip of your son turning. You know, that's all I've seen. If I'm about to watch a ton more video. It's very possible I watch a lot more and go, you know what? Stanford is in the cards. We need to do X, Y, Z. All I know is you play for a good team, and I can see his technical ability in one 30-second clip. Of course, once we work together more, that's what I'm telling you.
We'll take some videos this weekend. We'll
Yeah,
send you some
that'd be great.
clips so you can get a better idea.
That would be excellent. Awesome,
All right.
guys. It's so nice talking to you
Okay,
all. We'll talk soon.
We have some talking to do, and thank you for your time. We'll
You're
talk
welcome.
soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okie dokes. Oh, I gotta make a video for them. Imran, good job. How much money did you get? Are you a coach somewhere? I'm a coach everywhere. I help all of you play college soccer. You're welcome, Imran. Does college football help you get pro faster than academies? No, academies are faster. But if you don't make it in academy, then college is the only way. Should you play high school academy? Academy. How hard is it to play for FAU? Very difficult, very good program. Is AZ President's Day Tournament a good showcase? Eastern Ireland? Yes, very good tournament, very good showcase. Okay, Instagram. Thank you, 12 of you, for listening. I got booked. I have another call, so I got to do that one. Okay, Instagram, you guys are good? Okay, great. Let's see, 25 people on TikTok. I love seeing that. Did you watch the football charity match? I did not. Was it good? Thoughts on EA and MLS expansion? It means nothing for the time being, but eventually it will mean that if you're an MLS Next expansion, that's great. If you're an Elite Academy owned by MLS Next, it will mean nothing until they do more showcases. Otherwise, it doesn't make a difference for a while. I'm a player from Belgium. I need a guide. Book a call. Links in the bio, Mr. Belgium. Why is it that the university schools are called college soccer in USA? I'm trying to go to college. Because you play college at soccer. 5,000 is crazy. Only if you don't get results. You know, our students are getting $100,000, so it's a pretty good deal. Just committed to JUCO school. Congratulations, Samuel. What school? Is it hard to apply for soccer? I'm from Sweden. Jag pratar svenska. Jag pratar svenska. Jag har bott i Sverige för 4 år. Detta är jättesvårt att spela fotboll här. Du måste komma här och spela i ID-camps. Och också att du måste spela en high level i Sverige. Du måste spela Superettan eller Svenskan om du kommer här. Om du spelar Division 1 här in USA. So Sebe, if you'd like, you can book a call. Links in the bio. I lived in Sweden for a long time, so I know your level. If you go to a top prep school for soccer, do you think college coaches will be looking at your names? Good question. The answer is they look at your email. They may also come to your games if you're an elite level player, but you're going to need to go to camps also. In May, I'm going to try out for an MLS team, but I never play in a team. Oh, you need to go play for a team. Do not go to that tryout without playing with some other team. You will not be ready. I'm a 17, recovering from an ACL injury. Do you think I will still make it? You're probably going to have to take a gap year or go to JUCO. In May, I'm doing a trial for an MLS team. Okay, did that one. Transfers, yes, if you're transferred, talk to the transfer guy. Flatten Reno, what's up, Zev Taubli? That's my name. Oh boy, gotta ban you. That's unfortunate. Okay. All right, hey, so Eastern Ireland, Eastern Ireland, that big of a difference. Yeah, it's a big difference for level-wise, not so much, but showcase-wise it is. Is that good? Let's see. If I play BCPSL, because that's BC Premier League in Vancouver, you can aim for Division 3, Division 2. You could still play Division 1 maybe, but you're going to have to go to a lot of camps. Okay, everyone. Okay, if our local Barca Academy team doesn't credit to the MLS like CCNL, is that a big problem, and should we consider other clubs? Very happy in current club, coaches, and team. It depends how old you are, Dominic. It depends what level you wish to play one day. It also depends how good your team is. It's more complicated than that, especially if you love your coach. So you would, if you can book a call, Dominic, then I can get to the bottom of it with you so we can learn. Does USL going Division 1 change anything for recruiting? What if colleges go all year? Good question. It does not change anything for recruiting unless you're a youth kid playing in the USL. Them being considered a Tier 1 program by US Soccer doesn't really change anything, but it's pretty badass. Now, if college kids end up going all year, that's also super badass. And I hope it happens because it would change everything. I'm in 8th grade. I live in Canada, and I got invited to play National Academy League for a year. That's awesome. Good job. Okay. Does USL going Division 1 change? Okay. What's a good GPA to play for a school? 3.5 and above would be great. It looks like you're Colombian from your flag, maybe? 3.5 and above. Okay, I need a little bit of water, everybody. Oh, I got to make this video, so hang tight real quick. Hey, Coach. So I spoke to a great family. The son is very good. He's playing MLS Next, sophomore 4.0. The family want him to go to like Duke or Yale or all Ivy League stuff. He does not have any video, meaning he has video, like he has VO, but he doesn't have it put together. Now, apparently, his assistant coach is willing to edit something together. So you can ask them about that and say, is he willing to put something together? Great. But otherwise, what we're going to have to do is make 3 to 4 every touch videos, gather whatever clips they have. Maybe from gathering the clips on their own, we can make this into a highlight video. Like that's possible. Gather whatever clips we have. Make 3 to 4 every touchdowns. Gather whatever clips they have. And maybe that's enough for a highlight video. Like VO might have some clips already edited. Maybe they have some clips. So at the very beginning, ask them, do you have any clips already edited? And if they say no, say no problem, no big deal. Here's what we're going to do instead. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to take your full games and we're going to make every touch. They're playing against New York Red Bulls and DC United. And he's a top level kid and he's got great grades. Parents are business owners from Bulgaria and Honduras, but very well educated and, are here to help him go to great schools. I haven't seen enough video to say he's not good enough for certain schools or is, but I know the D3. So we have to email the D3 top academics. And if the parents, they're very adamant on we only want Duke, so you're going to have to say to them, which I already told them, look, you're not on track for Duke, so you can't just email Duke. You're going to have to get interest in the D3s. So D3s, and then you can email D1s, and we can start with emailing their top list. They're going to have a top list first, write the genuine stuff, and then email the rest of the D1s. If they say we don't want to, you say, look, if you get interest from any Division 1, you can go to any Division 3 top academic. Vice versa, if you get interest from Division 1s, you can still get interest from your top academic Division 1s. Like, SIUE is better than Yale on a given year, and we need them to know that. You're not going to go to their camps, though. You're not going to spend any money. We just need to go. He must go to Masters. Has to. He has to go to 60. Now, the problem is he's going to be a junior pretty soon, and these are going to run out. So if he can't go to those, there's another camp called Top Academic. It's in your document. Look at the document, and you'll see it. He needs to go to these camps, and then, based on the emails, go to more. Now, his email will be, my name is, I play for. He's already taken the PSAT and he got himself a high 1400s. So he can mention that in his emails and say, in the PSAT, I got high 1400s. And I believe the MITs of the world, the Carnegie Mellons, they're going to like him a lot. He has the grades. Caltech, we're going to email all those schools. I think they'll get interested in him right away, which will be great. And the family will be really happy. Then when it comes to the D1s, we'll help them over time. Okay, excellent job. Very exciting, and we'll talk soon. Let me just fill this out real quick. Hi, everyone. I have a call here in 4 minutes, so if you want help, let me know. Do you recommend XBot Go for filming? I need to look that one up, actually. XBot Go. Aha. No, I don't recommend it. However, it's better than nothing. It's better if you have VO or Trace, but if you don't have anything else, then that's helpful. Otherwise, I would just film with the tripod on your iPhone. But if you don't want to hold it, then it's okay. But it's not high enough. It needs to be higher. You have to get like bird's eye view. Okay, his name was Elena Boo. I don't know what the son's name was actually. Elena Boo. Son name. He's a 2027, February, 4998. I will also he has a brother. So ask about the brother. Put this in the notes. Ask about the brother, and tell the older brother and the parents, please have the younger brother join us for a few calls. We can give him a few camps to go to as well as a middle schooler. He's 11, and I guess he's pretty good too. Highlight video. They really don't have one other than they gave me this. It's like an Instagram clip of him turning, and it looks okay. It doesn't look outrageous, but it's not enough for me to say. I'd give them a 9. They're a little hesitant to move on the day we spoke, but great people. Okay, excellent. I will talk to you soon. Okay, submit. All right, do you recommend Xbox Go? I think I already answered that one. Do you know what are some of the best colleges teams in Wisconsin, any division? Matthias Ballin It just depends what you'd like to do. If you go on any of my videos and you comment the word WI College, you'll be given every school in Wisconsin. My son is 13, will be 14 this year, plays in an academy with a semi-pro team. What should we focus on in regards to getting him best opportunities? It's time for him to go to some camps. Please book a call, Beijing, because I need to start seeing his video recommending camps and emailing schools. Especially if he's playing UPSL, which is what I assume you mean by semi-pro, or NPSL. That's a big deal, and I need to see. He must be really good. I need to see it. Hey, I love your content. I hope I can talk to you later to soccer without me. Ben this day. I would love to talk to you. Let me know when you're ready. Thoughts on NAI? Could you explain it? NAI is Division II level. They're much smaller, have a lot more money, and they're very good. I totally recommend Division II. The students I work with tend to be top academic kids, so the parents are not open to Division II. But if it was my own kid, I would be very open to it. They have a lot of internationals. It's a great environment. The school's classes are really small, so I think it's great. But it does vary per person. Depends on what your goals are. Copy invitation. Okay, dokune. Okay, I gotta jump on this other meeting. Talk to you guys in a minute.
Recording in progress.
You know Richland College, and if you do, what do you think about them? Richland College, I do know about them. They're considered a lower tier school, but it is a good place to go if you have an offer. It just depends what you're looking for. Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. Nice to meet you, Mr. Jeff.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I can wait a couple more seconds, minutes. Can you hear us okay? Oh, I think you might be muted. Not you, Jeff, sorry. Ophelia.
Ophelia.
She might be muted.
I'll
Sorry.
text her. Oh, there she is.
No worries. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So nice to meet you all. Thanks for taking the time. I'm excited to speak to everybody. Just before we get started, could I ask who found me first?
I did.
Excellent. And let me ask your partner here in crime, what did your husband tell you about me?
He gave me your link and he said some really good things about you and wanted to meet you and talk about what you do and what you have to offer because of our very special son Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Where are you guys calling from?
We're in Canada.
Okay, I just want to make sure I had it right. I saw 8 hours and everything else, so I saw that email already. Okay, excellent. Where in Canada are you?
Edmonton, Alberta.
Okay, I played actually against FC Edmonton many a times
okay.
when they were in the NASL back once upon a time. And then again in the USL Championship, so I've been to Edmonton before.
Nice.
Having said that, what I'd like to do is kind of go over the agenda for today. Is that okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So let me ask you one other thing. Where is your son? I know you mentioned Luca's 8 hours ahead of us. Where is he?
He's in Spain.
Okay. And okay, good. We'll get into that in a minute. That's why I just want to make sure I had that correctly. With that in mind, my question to you guys, or my agenda for today, is number one, I'd like to see if we're the right fit. I'm not able to help everybody. Internationals are a particularly special case. That's number one. Number two is I want to see if you would like to work with me. And then number three is, can I scare you all away, including your son, who can get a recording of this, and make you quit? So then we don't have to worry about any of this and life gets easier. And then the final thing is, by the end of today's call, I'd like to get pretty close to knowing, are we going to work together, whether I want to or you want to, not because you have to by any means, but just so you guys ask me whatever questions you might have. So with that in mind, I'd like to just start with, I I want to confirm, I have the information in front of me already. I know you sent me an email, which I appreciate you doing so, regarding video and whatnot. Can I just confirm, is he a Canadian citizen living in Spain, or do you guys also have a Spanish passport?
No, I'm Italian.
Okay, so he has an Italian passport.
He doesn't yet. He's Canadian living in Spain. He has a student visa through his club.
Got it. Awesome. And what is
Right
the
now.
club called in Spain that he's playing at?
Escuela Huesca.
Okay, cool. I've actually heard of them before. Okay, and right now, if I said to you, I'll start with your husband. What prompted you to reach out? What is it that you'd like help with? Actually, sorry, let me confirm one more thing. His grad year, technically speaking, would be
2027.
Okay,
He's
that-
grade 10 right now.
perfect. That's what I have. Okay, sorry. Let me ask you, what prompted you to reach out?
Well, he has the ambition and hopes to be pro. As his parent, I want to have him still look at the college in USA route. Because everyone knows it's very hard to be pro. I'm supporting him to be pro. But if he went to NCAA Division 1-2, that would still be a very good accomplishment.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well said. Very well said. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I played Division 1 and then I played pro, and it was because of Division 1 that I played pro. So to your point, if he makes it pro and he's sorted, that's life easier. Now, you mentioned he's on a student visa. I understand in this case your wife does have an Italian passport, so he could get access to like a European passport or an Italian passport, which when I speak to students who want to go pro abroad, that is really an important piece for getting work visas one day. I played in Sweden for about 5 years, and my work visa was a complication. But having said that, I want to ask right now, I'll start with your wife now. Your husband obviously mentioned him playing college would be of interest to you guys. Would you guys say that academics are really important to you all?
Yeah, they are, of course. So we need, obviously, Lucas needs a balance, but we want to understand, like, I appreciate all the questions you have in trying to understand what the situation is for our son. But what sort of benefits are there for Lucas working with you?
Yeah, good. Great question. I'm trying to figure that out partially because there may not be any, which is why I'm asking you a couple of these questions. But if you guys say, here's what and I want to answer those directly, is part of what I'm slightly confused about is he open to playing college? Or is he like, mom and dad are making me and I just want to go pro?
We haven't had the conversation with him, right? So that's why he's not here. He's overseas, and that's why.
The conversation's been made. If he doesn't play pro, he will be at university. Like, we're both educated. We both have degrees from university.
Okay, super helpful. Now, are you guys familiar, and I want to answer your wife's question about what it is I do. Now, I will back up. There was a video I sent that kind of goes into very much detail that I was hoping to have you guys watch before the call, specifically on how we help internationals. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but having said that, I'll still tell you about myself happily. But my question back to you briefly before I do is, are you guys personally familiar of when, for the most part, you have to be committed by if you want to play college soccer?
No.
So going to your wife's question, which is a good one, what it is I do. Here's my concern so far, just from the limited I know. What a lot of kids do is they go, I want to go pro. And they pursue pro. Then they don't make it. At that point, it is too late to go to college in many cases, depending on your age and what you've done. Here's the good news. You can try and go pro and go to college at the same time. And if you go to pro, go pro. If you don't go pro, then you get to have your quote-unquote backup plan of college. So you mentioned, obviously, he's a sophomore. The big thing that, let's pretend he goes, okay, I'm on board with the idea of pursuing both. If you'd like to pursue both, part of that job is you will have to come to America often. You will not be able to play college without being seen in person. So I guess I would reverse the question back to you guys and go, is that something you guys are open with him? To give you one last comment on that, I know where he's playing in Spain. College coaches don't rate it highly. It is a high level. They don't know it. They don't care for it. And if he stays there, he will not play college soccer, just so you guys know. If he decides, if you guys as a family go, we're going to bring him back here, he'll play OPDL, or he's willing to go to a bunch of camps, college soccer is possible. If he stays in Spain, it is still possible, but he's not playing Division One for the most part. So I guess I should back up and say back to you guys, and those aren't all concrete things. Based on what you've told me so far, that's what I'm concerned about. Which is then to say I think your husband mentioned you sent me video. I was looking for it, and I tried to watch some of it earlier. I did get to see a bit, but I just want to make sure I received what you sent.
Video, I didn't send his video.
Okay, so there you go. Maybe that's why I was Googling
We
it.
can. He has one, yeah.
Okay, that's super helpful. So go ahead, sorry.
Question. So the players that are actually selected for European play, it's very difficult to be selected there. So I'm kind of wondering why they're not selected, because it's very, you have lots of people here that play soccer and that can go and they're viewed. They actually come to view as they do in the US. So I'm not quite following the limitations in that respect.
Totally
because
fair.
when they make a national team, for example, they're selecting players that are Canadian but playing in Europe.
Very well said. It comes from this, and you have every right to, frankly, disagree with what I'm saying. I played at Fulham, which is a Premier League level team in England.
Yeah.
That level is considered by colleges because they know what it is. The school that your son is at, the coaches just don't know. Now, I know it because I've worked with students from there, and some coaches do know it, and they think highly of it. But they don't go video from there equals, if he kills it there, for example, with video, or doesn't even kill it, he just plays a good game. They go, I don't know what the level is. I just don't know. They're not saying it's bad. They're not saying it's good. They just don't know. So would they rather take your son or some kid they've seen every weekend for 2 years? They're going to pick the kid they've seen every weekend. So even if, and I can see on your face, you go, well, the kids are better over there. The coaches, unfortunately, don't care.
Well, no, because that's not I'm trying to understand the assessment, because that does seem very full round of an assessment, right? Because just because you see somebody, then you know them. So like there's people in Canada, there's people internationally. So that's the comment is that if you're seeing them regularly, then they're more opted to select them.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is also, remember, this is not about only winning soccer games. If your son goes to school and parties and gets in trouble, this is not pro soccer. Pro soccer, I played pro soccer for 10 years in MLS and abroad. They didn't care what I did off the field. As long as I made sure we won soccer games, I could drink or party, whatever I wanted. But in the college world, they want to know he wants to major in something, that he's going to go to class, that he's going to have good grades and keep those grades, which are all like cheer. And also, I want to say to you, Ophelia, I think they do it wrong here. I don't think the system is good. This is why I partially exist, to bridge the gap and go, I know the team you're playing for because I have kids who call me from Spain and I lived abroad for some time, and I go, Coach, you're an idiot. I'm watching the video. I've watched hours of video of this kid. He's really good. And they go, because I've done this many times now, all they're going to tell you is, that's great, I need to see him in person. And there is an argument to go, look, eventually, of course, you have to be seen in person. But here's the next dilemma for you guys. Let's say you come over here and he's seen in person. The only way to do that is through an ID camp. ID camps are not enough to play Division I soccer. If you go to an ID camp and you're the best one, it means almost nothing. Because the kids you're playing against are a bunch of random people, some of whom have never kicked the ball in their life. And they just show up because they can pay for it and they can. That's the difficult part with playing Division I. Now, if you wanted to play Division II, it's a little bit different. And this is all, by the way, me making all of these assessments without having seen video, which typically I don't take these calls unless I looked up your son, I looked up the school. So I was like, I'm really curious about them. But obviously I can't make a true assessment unless I see video.
Yeah, I can send you his video after. So the path that would be best, like the path of Europe, is try pro, but you said you can do them both at the same time. So it would be try pro or at the same time Division II in the US.
Division
would
II,
be
Division
maybe
III,
ideal.
and I'm not telling you Division I's not possible. And this is let's go to
It's just a lot harder pathway because he's not there.
Yes. Now, part of my job, going to your wife's initial question, is what do I do to bridge that gap? Everything I said is if you don't know the process and you do it on your own. My job is to go, hey, you know what? This kid deserves a chance. My whole motto is everybody deserves to be seen. I can't make them say yes, but I do believe you be seen. So if you want to play Division I here, we need a lot of video, okay? When I say one, I'm talking every year you need about 6 to 8 videos. And they're not highlight videos. They're called every touch videos. So that's number one. Number two is I happen to have this email system, which you guys saw, that allows me to email basically every top school or any school we choose very quickly, often. You must email every school 4 times to truly know if they like you, whether it's because they've responded to you or because they haven't responded to you. I'm able to go dear, #coach, #genuine, #school name. So every email appears genuine, almost like you're your own best agent. Click preview, it automatically goes to the school with something genuine, and it goes to every school in the country. I don't know yet because I haven't seen your son's video, but if you want to play Division 1, the way to do it as an international is you get offers from Division 3 and Division 2. So then when you go to the camp and they already know you and they already like you, and you go, hey, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. I know you already have offers. I don't need to see you at what we would call a showcase, which is only if you play for an American team, and that's how they recruit most kids. Now, you guys know there's plenty of Canadian kids in America and plenty of kids from Spain. So every coach is a little different. But I am telling you, I know the school you're at, they don't have regular showcases with American coaches attending. So because of that, it limits us to some degree, which then tells us, look, if you're going to come to camps in America, that's a long trip for him, right? He's going to come back from Spain, then visit you guys. So we want to schedule those out and make the most of them. And the way I do that is I pick them for you and I say, this is a school that I think you're the level for. This is a coach that's responded to us because of the way we wrote our emails. And my job is also, because I'm not an agent, I can never directly connect you and say, hey, here's this player, he's really good, they have a great family, get to know each other, because it's against the rules. So because it's college, you can't have an agent. So my workaround is I know what positions the coaches need. I know what level I think your son is once I see video. And then I tell your son what to say, like a dating coach, like a matchmaker, and go, here's where we start. Then the ultimate goal is I'm just one opinion. My job is to get as many eyeballs on him as possible. If we get coaches at the D1 level saying, I really like you, I've watched your video, could you please come to camp? Then he can play Division 1 and he can live in Spain. But you have to get to that point. And that point is difficult if you just only email Division 1 schools, from my experience. You need to get offers from Division 3, Division 2, and work your way up. Just like you wouldn't email Chelsea tomorrow, you would email a team in Belgium first, get an offer, and work your way up.
Okay.
Which is then to say to your Ophelia, this is what I do. I edit all your videos. I give you this email system. I pick your camps. I create which schools you're going to go to. And then at the end of the day, your son ultimately wants to go pro, which I respect. There are other companies, which we'll talk about in a minute, like this is like a big company that's like an international, they work with thousands and thousands of kids. They don't care if you go to pro. They just want you to go to college. When I was your son's age, I didn't want to go to college. I wanted to go pro. So my parents sent me to England to a school called Bath, and I went to school there, and we learned the hard way that I was never going to get recruited if I stayed in England. And it did affect me to a large degree, which is why I'm talking to you guys. But eventually I came back here, and I'm American, so it's a little different. And my parents were like, look, you're going to school. Like, you're not going. For me, it wasn't an option. It was, you're going to college. But when I was at Fulham, I wanted to go pro, and they told me if you don't have a work visa, a European passport, you're either going to have to get adopted or get married. And that was also not on the table for me at 14 years old. So I came back to college. And because of college, I got drafted. I played pro, and then I played pro for 10 years. So college can also help you go pro. This is the beauty of the American system, is if you don't make it at 17, 18, which is typically when you need to go pro by, you go to college. And so the hope for your son is, while he's trying to go pro, he sends some emails. It's free. It's easy. I can help him do it. The videos are edited for you. And if he gets a bunch of responses, he responds back. The only point in which it takes time is when they say to him, I really like you. Could we please see you in person? In which case, you'll have to schedule 2 weeks and come here. And if that moment is where he could go pro or go to college, then you have to pick, of course. But the hope is we can manage both. Especially, I'll add one more thing, he's a 27. I only work with 27s, 28s, and 29s. I don't really work with kids older than that with my model. Part of the reason is, as an international for you guys, it's very expensive to go to college in the United States, and it's more difficult for a variety of reasons. So for my model to be successful, I need to be able to work with the kids for quite some time. So going back to your wife's question, what I do is your son will get a coach plus me. This particular coach is going to work with is in charge of my internationals. We only work with 3 internationals a year. Most of our kids, of course, are domestic. We have one in Hong Kong, we have one in Dubai, and one in El Salvador. And one called me yesterday from Mexico. And I don't know if I'll work with them yet. But the point is, your son, I think, is a higher level. But again, I just want kids to go to college and be happy. And then you're going to get me as well. But your Zoom meetings are with my coach, who's in charge of internationals. Then we are going to edit all your videos. So from now on, he will send me the videos. We want to go through the game with him. I know his club already, his school does this, but we need to do it from a college soccer perspective. Hey, when you go to college soccer ID camps, these are the moments they want to see when you perform there because it's important. And then you're going to get a Google Drive. So here's an example of the international student that we're working with, just to give you kind of a taste. This is the one in Dubai. We're going to give you a list of schools that I think he should email. Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Again, with the goal being Division 1. As we do that, I'll give you a list of realistic, less realistic, and so on. And hopefully we'll break the bridge each time. And then every time we meet, we have a to-do list. And this is where, going back to, I need to know his headspace. To play college soccer, it requires a lot of off-the-field work. The truth is, it's the same to go pro. But most people, like in my case, I was never the best kid. When I got drafted and got picked, I was sending emails to pro coaches as if I was my own agent. And that was the difference. It wasn't that I was the best. It was that they knew who I was. So similar, I want your son to email the coaches. And like in this person's case, we got to email these schools. Every meeting we do is recorded, so you guys have a copy of it. You're more than welcome to be on every meeting, but you don't have to be. And we tell him what to do every stage. And we do require an hour a week that he meets with us. And that is mandatory. Otherwise, we cannot work with him. So that's why I was asking if he's really motivated by this because he thinks that it can help him go pro, which it can, then those are types of students I love to work with. If he's in the headspace, which other kids are, look, I'm just going to go pro, I don't need a backup plan, then I'm not the right fit for them. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So let me pause there and ask, let me start with your wife. Is that the type of help you would like for your son, where we help you with picking camps and writing emails and picking schools?
Yeah, I think so. And like I was just thinking about Lucas. Like I said, he's very well rounded, and he has certain goals, and he's very easy, good to work with, and and I think that's why he's escalated the way he has. Like, you can have a good player, but they don't escalate because of those characteristics. And you seem really great. You have a lot of history, and you're a good communicator. So thank you so much. Those are, and like Jeff said, like I think we have to have, options and total plans for Lucas. And we have to do what he's happy with. And I know you've given us different examples, and they have different mindsets, the parents. But like I think with us, it's Lucas. And how he's feeling, and he's very receptive and open. So I think, perhaps like a meeting, he's not here, obviously, so he can't meet at the same time. Hopefully he's sleeping. But perhaps, like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah, absolutely. No, I would want to meet him first before we got started, regardless.
Yeah. And I looking at the video. Like that.
Yeah, that'd be great too. And this is, I think he knows who this is. You guys maybe have heard of his name too. He played JUCO. Then he went to Division 2, then he went to Division 1, and then he went to the highest level, and now he's playing in France at the at Nice. He was playing junior college. That's how he started at Iowa Western. Then he went to Division 1. To go pro through America as a Canadian is very real. This is what he knows who this is. He's kind of become famous on Instagram and TikTok because he went from junior college to the highest level in France. So it is to say your son, I think, understands it. Because I don't know him, that's why I was asking those questions. So what I want to pause there for a second is I've been talking quite a bit, and I think you guys understand kind of what I do on my end. This is a question I will ask Lucas when I meet him, but I want to ask you guys, I don't work with that many students in total. We work with about 30 to 40 kids, depending on, and I mentioned internationals are a bigger pain in the butt for me. I never want to turn anyone away, especially if they want help. But they're a bigger pain just because, there's certain things in terms of applying to the schools becomes different when you get there. The coaches themselves ask different questions, which is, I want to help everyone I can. So I want to ask you guys, why do you think Lucas is the right fit to work with me?
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say, like I said before, like I think the openness and the level, and you have some knowledge, right? About, Edmonton. You seem very knowledgeable, open, and a good communicator, and very calm. And I think Lucas is very directed as well and very focused. So I think, like I was talking with Jeff, and I think those relationships are very important. right? And having that overall picture when you're trying to move ahead. Like, he's quite young, still. So a person like yourself assists, and you work in partnership and you collaborate, right? And that's how he is. Like he's, when he goes there, he's learning a lot himself and about others. And so I think the relationship is important.
I like
Sorry,
it.
go
Yeah, and I think if he doesn't end up pro, I think his goals are to be involved in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So if he isn't a pro player, he still feels that he wants to be involved in soccer in some means, which might be like, hey, I want a business degree for 4 years so I can go be involved in soccer at a different level than playing.
Yeah, really well said. And this is something we can talk about later, but he's a sophomore. So the coach you're going to work with, along with myself, he was a former student of mine who went on to play college soccer as an international, came here, etc. And then in his scenario, he's currently getting his master's degree in sports administration, and he works full time for me. So it's early to say if your son would like doing what I'm doing. But the point is that if it becomes something on the table, my dream one day is your son works for me if he wants to, but better yet, he goes on to get a job that he loves in whatever industry, and my high school kids could go intern for him one day. I haven't done this quite that long, but that's the dream for me. So it's saying that what I'd like to do is I still need to meet your son. I still need to watch the video. Before I get to that point, I sent you guys an email. Can you guys just confirm with me you received it? And in it is a link that says the agreement form. I only want to go over it with you. Well, I'll happily go over it with him again as well. And in our case, we're not going to decide anything today, but I just want to go over it with you so you guys know exactly what you're getting into price-wise with me, as well as scholarship and also time that we kind of ask for. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. But if you confirm,
I have it open on my computer too.
okay, that'd be great if you don't mind. So what you're going to do, or what you'll see, is the first thing is when we work with students, as I mentioned, you're going to get me, a coach, and a full-time editor. I'll be the one talking to the editor, but of course, if we edit a video and you go, hey, Zeb, we want to do this, or we have a new clip, you'll just send it to us and we'll add it. Now, we're going to communicate in two ways. Well, one way, but you, mom, and dad will have a channel just with me, without your son, and then we'll have another channel with everyone together. So that way, if you want to talk to me without your son and say, hey, he's about to have this happen, but he needs to get ready for a phone call, because he's going to get phone calls as well. We're going to coach him through that. You guys can give us your opinion without him knowing if you so choose. Kind of like sometimes we don't always love hearing from mom and dad. Then we're going to get a Google Drive where we're going to keep everything you guys saw in the AI system. I'm an annual service. So I'm with you from now, February 14th, until next year, February 14th. Now, for 98% of our students, especially if they are personality-wise like you've described, they no longer need me, and they keep all of my tools forever, and you keep all these tools for life. And then they go on and get recruited. There are some kids who say, you know what, Zev, this has been so great. I love being able to just talk to somebody every day. I want to keep working with you. In which case, it's a monthly plan, and it just depends, and you can cancel and start it whenever you wish. Most of the time, it ranges between $50 to $100, but it really just depends what you want. Most kids don't do that, but some do. Now, if in the first 3 months of him working with myself, we are not getting genuine interest from schools he would consider attending, so you guys get to pick if you like the schools, but we're not aiming for some no-name school in Iowa. I want him to go to a good school with good academics and a good soccer team. Then I refund you. If I can't get results in 3 months, I'm never going to get results. So I'm pretty aggressive off the bat. And then 98% of our students have received a minimum of 60, upwards of 300. And in the email I sent you, the student that got 300,000 went to a Division III school. So if you guys say scholarship is something we really want to focus on, the list of schools I give you will slightly be adjusted, but I'll give you a little of both. And then when I say genuinely recruited, I do not mean an offer. He will not get an offer in the next 3 months. Well, technically it's possible, but even if he got an offer, I don't want him to say yes yet. I want you guys to love the coach. But when I say genuinely recruited, especially in your son's case, I'm saying, and this is really important for you guys, whether you work with me or go work by yourselves, he must get genuine interest before he goes to a camp, because it's too far for you to travel. So with that in mind, I'm saying that in the first 3 months, I'm expecting them to get on a phone call with him, them to say, what are your grades? What classes are you taking? What is your major? Something that tells us they're genuinely interested. And then to achieve this, he must communicate with my team and I once a week. He must give us a self-interview, which I'll describe that later. You must give us game video, which sounds like you have plenty of, so that's great. But if you don't give me any video in the next 90 days, and he's fired, and I cannot help you. And then if its grades drop below what we would be the equivalent of, and I can go do a calculation on obviously how his grades are appropriated. But if he doesn't get, if he's basically getting Fs or Ds and Fs, then he's fired, and I cannot help him. He has to keep a B average, basically. So, or any GPA you guys say. If you want him to keep up perfect A's, then so be it. Does
He's
that
like
make-
80s, 80, around 80.
Okay, 80 is
Marks.
good. 80 is great. We can work with 80. So with that in mind, what you'll then see is I'll ask him about what he may want to major in, so we'll say business. When you guys click submit here, which you don't have to do right now, you will see the payment structure. And ultimately, it's a one-time payment of $4,997. If you say to me, Zev, are there payment plans? We do have them. Just let me know what you're looking for, and I can let you know. The next step I see it, if it's okay with you guys, is I'm going to send you a link to this same emails, and I'm going to say, when you can, please coordinate with your son. Somebody, I guess, might have to stay up late or get up early, or me as well, so we can meet. And then I'd love to talk to him, and we can give him a debriefing on this. And I have one more thing I want to do before I let you go, but let me just ask you guys this. Let's pretend, which is not the case, you had to work with me right this second, and you had to pay me, which you do not, but let's say you did. Are there any other questions that come to mind?
Ophelia, do you?
What's the payment? I think.
Yeah, good question. So the payment that we do, it's $4,997, and as I mentioned, we're an annual service. So that goes, we take the payment up front. If in the first 3 months you're not being recruited, we refund you, and we expect you to meet with us every week. And that's from now, February 14th of 25 until February 14th of 26. If after that you want more help, we create a custom plan just depending on the situation that you need. Maybe most kids do not need our help any longer, and they're happy. Other kids are like, Zeb, we love talking to my coach. He's my new, the person between me and the coach he'll work with, we're going to become his big brothers. We want to help him go pro. I went pro. His coach is going pro. We want to help him do that. But you guys may say, look, we don't need your help for another year. Let's visit this 6 months later. We'll still be there for you. We just create a custom plan depending on what you need.
Okay, thank
If
you.
he got interest and committed to a college, whatever division, whatever, and he got a pro contract, are you stuck at the college, or can you just go to the pro team?
Good question.
If you commit to a college, are you committed, or if you get signed by pro, can you go to the team?
Good question. You can leave college whenever you want. What will more than likely happen is, if we do everything correctly, he will get committed in about a year and a half from now. He'll know what college he wants to go to, and the college will tell us that we want you to go. He will apply to the school just to be as a backup in case something happens. And then if he gets a pro offer between that time, he'll tell the coach, I'm sorry, I was picked to go pro. And the college coach will go, that's amazing. If you decide to leave the pro team, let me know, and we'll take it back here. Now, if that happens, it's a discussion we'll have to have. Once he's paid, he can no longer play college soccer. You have to remain an amateur.
You can never, right?
Correct. Now,
If you go pro, you can't go play for 5 years at university with your eligibility. You're uneligible, right?
the short answer is actually no. If you go play in what's called the NAIA, which is a different conference, think of FIFA and UEFA. FIFA being NCAA, UEFA is NAIA. If you want to play college soccer and you've been paid, you can go play NAIA, which is why most internationals actually play NAIA. These are really small schools, like 1,500 kids, have a lot of money scholarship-wise. They want internationals. They're very good. They're like D2, D1 level schools because there's no age limit. Also, you could be 30 technically and play there. So the answer is he still could, but you still have to get recruited and everything else. But traditionally speaking, like if you want to play Division I soccer in the NCAA, then the answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. And this is why for him, this is why I'd love to talk to him, is I need to figure out if he this is my ultimate goal, just because I played pro myself. He's in Spain, and you're playing at this school, and you go on trials, and they set you up, and it works out. He has a European passport, almost, or he could get one, which will help him more than any Americans there. Like, if you were an American, I would tell you, or let's say if you're a Canadian's a little different. If you're an American, and you were playing where you were, I would tell you you're not going pro, it's a pipe dream, and you're out of your mind. Because without a work visa, it's not realistic. Unless you're willing to live in Spain, play 7th division, and even if you work your way up, you're still going to have the work visa problem. They'll pick a kid from Spain who's equally as good as you, who's younger than you, and they can get him for cheaper. But because you have a European passport, it does allow for a different opportunity because you can get a work visa. So my hope, though, is to show him, because selfishly I really enjoyed college, is that if you don't make it pro, the only way to keep pursuing pro, you're 19 and you're still trying to go pro, then you're screwed, basically, across the board, especially in America. There's still, of course, exceptions to the rule, but overall, and here's, like I mentioned, the biggest issue is all the international kids that call me, which is why I had your husband answer a bunch of questions before I even let him call me, is they think that if you're good enough to go pro, you'll go to college. College coaches don't care unless you're playing at Champions League level or literally, like, there's a kid who went to Wake Forest. He was playing for Manchester United, and his parents wanted him to go to college. That's who they want. If you're not playing at that level, they don't care where you are abroad. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is not correct. I think they're wrong to do so, but that's how they operate. So the last thing I'll leave you with is I'm giving you a link to reschedule with your son. Call me here for the next call. I will just say this. If I don't expect you guys to call me tomorrow by any means, but if tomorrow I don't receive an email from you saying we're working on a scheduled time, then I have to give your spot away to another student. I cannot, the reason I took this call is I can take an international this month. Otherwise, I have other calls today and I'll pick whoever wants to work with me the most.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk to Lucas when he's up. After his game, we'll talk to him. And then I'll tell him to send his most updated video to me too.
That would be great. Yeah, that I would love. So I just sent over the email with my schedule to reschedule in the future. And we'll go from there. Sound like a plan?
Okay. Yeah, I like following your videos. You're very high energy.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, there's a club that you mentioned in one of your recent ones out in New York, like Gaucher or something.
Mm-hmm. Gosha. Mm-hmm.
One of the kids that was playing on that MLS division team is playing on his team, and his parents wanted him to be in Spain instead of on Gaucher, and he just broke his ankle 2 days ago.
Wow.
So he's in a boot now for who knows how long, this guy.
Yeah. And I don't know the student, so I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
But what's great is like I said, I know your school. It's a really high level. There are plenty of kids who like that one say, or others like it. You are also getting better at soccer by being in Spain. You're getting better training. You're becoming better. The dilemma you're facing, because the American system is bad. My job is, I used to try, look, when I was, fun story, then I'll let you go. When I was in the NCAA, I wrote a letter to the NCAA every day for 6 months, telling them how stupid the NCAA rules are. Because you can't train in the off season more than 2 times a week, which is the dumbest thing ever for soccer. You also can't go on trial. You can't go train with a D1 team to try and make the team. You have to go to a camp. And then literally my compliance officer said, Zev, if you keep sending them letters, they will kick you out of the NCAA and you will no longer be able to play soccer. So that's when I decided I'm not going to try and fix the rules anymore. I will just help people around the rules. And that's where I am now. So the system is not good, but if you understand the system, you can break into it and then you can play college soccer. So it was really nice talking to you all.
I'm sure the Canadian system is even 10 times worse than the U.S. system.
Yeah, and that actually is a discussion I have with a lot of people. I go, look, people hate the system here, but I go, look, it's like if you live, because I was living in Sweden, I told you, and we had some kids from Right to Dream. Have you ever heard of Right to Dream before? Right to Dream is it's a huge academy in West Africa. And we have it better than every one of those kids, even though they're in, so anyways, you get the idea. It was lovely talking to you all.
Okay.
I'm excited to talk to Mr. Lucas. And go ahead and fill in.
No, I thank you very much. It was lovely speaking with you.
Likewise,
It was
guys.
great.
I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, I need to go, guys, to get some food because I deserve food. I enjoyed that call, even though they're not going to hear from them for a minute. I don't think. Hold on a second. NAI is literally all Christian schools. That is correct. That's how they get their money. But they don't make you you don't have to do it. Is this TST like the soccer team? Like the soccer thing? Is this the TST? Should I go to a trial for Youth Mexico team, 2011 group? Any tips? Should I go to a trial? Not if you want to play college soccer, it will not help you. But if you want to go to pursue your dream, go for it. Can you watch my highlight video? John, send it to the link in the bio and we can get on a call. My 4-year-old grandson made an MLSX team. So excited for him. We have a grandma on TikTok. Love that. Go on, Shotbot. Shout out to you. That's so exciting. If he would like help, let me know and we can get on a call. And you should come on the call, Grandma, because that's super cool. Okay, I got a CV and highlights, but don't know how to contact professional academies. Nick, we only help you with college. Hey, I'm a freshman. What can I do to help my career? Make a highlight video. We need to go to camps, and I need to see your video, so send it to the link in the bio. If I went to Brookhouse College in England and I went back to the US, how would that look? Sebas, book a call. Internationals are very complicated. If you're in Belgium, book a call. Bro, my friend plays MS Next and it was in the All-Star game and it went D3. This shiz is impossible. That is correct. That's correct, Noel. That's how competitive it is. I took a screenshot of that so I can share that. Do you know St. Martin's? Yes, I do. Good program. Do you know... Okay, I did that one already. All right, TikTok. Instagram. What is an overview for a sophomore to be doing now in college soccer? Tate, ID camp, showcase, emails, video for sure, and they need to pick their list of schools, and then you need to start having conversations with coaches, especially the D3 level. Is there a big difference between USU Soccer and National League Elite 64? No, there's not. Both of them aim for Division 3 first. Okay, here we go. I got an ACL injury as a junior. When we'll miss club season, my trainer and I said I was good enough for good academic D2. It's still possible for me to get an offer. You're a junior. Surgery as a junior. Are you a junior now? I just got ACL surgery as a junior. Let's see. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, it would still be possible if you want to go this year. The other thing is you could go to JUCO or you could take a gap year and it would still be possible. But you're going to have to, you need to email schools right now doing your physical therapy. Do not wait until you're all better to email them. Then it will be too late. Living Sister. Hello, everyone. This is one of my students. He's joining us. Good to see you. If you guys have questions, you can ask him what it's like to work with us. His name is Livin Siester, if that's okay with you, my man. I just spoke to your coach the other day. I was on talked to your coach, Lievin, and we have a couple things we're going to go over with you. You're doing great. Can I start emailing colleges in 7th grade? Yes, you can. What are the steps to get on phone calls? To get phone calls, you must send lots of video and emails, and they must ask you for a phone call. Okay, I need to go get some food. And I also have some camps to look up for you, Mr. Siester. So I talked to your coach the other day, and I'm doing that with them. We already have a basic list. And give me 1 second here. 1 second. Okay, I'm about to make a video if you are a freshman. And okay, let me do this real quick. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Just give me a second. If you're a freshman, then what I'm about to say applies to you. It also applies to you if you're a sophomore. Oh, did I already make a video for him? Okay, I'm good actually. I don't need to make the video, so never mind. If you have questions and you're a freshman or sophomore, I can answer your questions. Yes. Okay, awesome. We just had a student sign up to work with us. Nice kid, thanks. Yes, Friday. Melania Boo. this guy name was Jeff, I think. Jeff. Sorry, guys. I'm doing a little work. I can answer your questions in just a minute, and I will happily answer them. Oh, I have a call coming up already. I thought this one got canceled, but I don't think it did. Oy, 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 oy. Jeff, I don't think this one. Kid in Spain, Canadian, will reschedule some points. Okay, this one on Friday, 14th. Okay. And I think this kid Elliot already said yes. Elliot Jennings already said yes. So I need to move that one. Sorry, give me a second, everyone. Elliot. Okay. Elena Boone, tomorrow I had to go hospital reschedule. Okay. All right. Thanks for your patience. Liam Pulowski, what's up? What's up? If I live in Greece and you want to be noticed by America, you need to book a call, links in the bio, because internationals are complicated. If I play D3 soccer, can I still go pro? Absolutely. You need to go to open tryouts. Okay, everyone. I'm going to take a break. It's been a pleasure, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm going to be live later today. Actually, I'll be live later today for a little while. Okay, bye. Whoa, hold on. Papa Lupadupatus. Who are you talking to? Are you helping people, Sylvester? I played D5 high school, GLA, with a high school club team. Do you think D3 schools will even look at me? I'm a sophomore. Marcus, if you go to their camps, yes. Looks like you're helping each other. That's pretty cool. Hold on. Excuse me. If I play Classic or NPL, can I still go D1 or D3? If I play Classic or NPL, yes. D3, possible. D1, probably not. You're a girls soccer player, probably not. NPL, Division 3 is possible. Classic, that's tough. If you want help, Anisha, give me a call. Because if you work with me, then things change a bit because we're pretty aggressive. But just depends. Hi, Laura. Talk to you all soon. Bye.